What is up, everybody? This is Atticus the Death Metaler, and for this video is going to be a lyrical analysis on the band Stray from the Path's controversial single, Good Night, Alt-Right. Now, just to clear the air, people, to anybody that is thinking that I'm going to be straight up ignorant over the band Stray from the Path, let me just clear the air here. I have known about Stray from the Path for quite a while as of right now. I mean, I do follow the band's record label, Sumerian Records, for a while now, since 2008. And Sumerian Records happens to be one of my favorite record labels. I mean, they have bands on their roster such as the very following bands: After the Burial, Animals as Leaders, Betraying the Martyrs, Born of Osiris, Chon, Oceano, Periphery, Slaughter to Prevail, The Faceless, and Veil of Maya. So, pretty good bands on the record label's roster, and Stray from the Path happens to be on the record label's roster. Stray from the Path is not new to controversy. I mean, a lot of their lyrics focuses on a lot of left-leaning stuff, more like what Rage Against the Machine does. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of metal, punk, and hardcore bands put a lot of politics onto their songs, and I encourage it, whether I agree or disagree with what they talk about. They have the right to express that. Like, for instance, I brought up Rage Against the Machine, though I disagree with Rage Against the Machine's message, especially fucking Tom Morello. But, you know, they've been a very important band and have really influenced a lot of people with their music. Same with one of my favorite bands growing up, System of a Down. Obviously, they bring out their messages through music, most notably the Armenian genocide, anything they want to get across. And also another favorite of mine, Napalm Death. Though they're more of the really far left side, they promote, all their songs are about anti-capitalism, smashing the system, all that stuff. Something I disagree with, but I enjoy their music. And a bunch of other bands like Molotov Solution and Dying Fetus incorporate a lot of government corruption into their music. And so overall, I enjoy their music, whether it be left or right-leaning. It just doesn't really matter to me. But Stray from the Path takes it a little bit more to the extreme with an anarchist type of view. I mean, I used to think this way, especially when I was starting early with my channel, but I don't anymore thanks to my political changes. But their new song off of their new upcoming album, which will come out this September, Good Night, Alt-Right, oh boy, it is quite a doozy, quite the fucking doozy to talk about. And of course, many people think the alt-right is just another term for Nazis or white supremacists, when in fact it's a little bit negative in a sense. The alt-right, basically contrary to popular belief, was not formed by Vladimir Putin. It was in fact formed by Paul Gottfried, who's actually a Jew, because he was pretty sick and tired of how right-leaning politics is going around on, of course, America, most notably neoconservatives. So the alt-right was pretty much formed to combat neocons, like for instance John McCain. Of course, right now he's not feeling too well since he was diagnosed with a brain tumor. I dislike John McCain, and I dislike how he pushes for unneeded wars and stuff, and that's why I really despise John McCain. Same goes with Paul Ryan. He's a neocon that I also absolutely despise as well, and pretty much the alt-right was formed around in 2008 to combat neocons. That's it. That's pretty much it. But anybody from any sort of right-wing faction could claim they're alt-right. Anyhow, I'm getting a little bit off topic on this video, and let us just dive down onto the music video. And let's just dive down to the lyrics of the song now, shall we? Now, of course, the music video incorporates a couple of Antifa thugs just tracking down like any random alt-righter in their minds, and it shows a guy with a red hat symbolizing a Trump supporter, and you see in his inside of his home, he's worshiping Hitler, jacking off to Richard Spencer, and then the Antifa thugs barge into his house and then beat the shit out of him and tattoo a swastika on his head. pretty fucking extreme right there. But what about the lyrics, Atticus the Death Metaler? Why haven't you gone to the lyrics yet? Well, we're diving down to the lyrics right now onto this music video. You just got knocked the fuck out. The punishment fits the crime. So keep your hand held high and you'll find out why that this raised fist ain't afraid to fly. The punishment fits the crime. What do you mean by that? The crime of wrong thought? Wrong speak? Wrong speak as in there are only two genders? That black on black crime is a serious epidemic amongst African Americans? That Islam isn't a religion of peace? That the majority of migrants coming into Europe aren't refugees? That communism killed a hell of a lot more people and oppressed a hell of a lot more people than fascism did in the last century? If you think that, then fucking hell, knock me the fuck out. 77 since the 88. Had to look at my phone cause I couldn't believe the date. It's 2017, but in a 40s trend, with a racist president that's making everything great again. So obviously this, at the first verse, automatically we're bashing Donald Trump. But Straight from the Path made a song earlier ago where they were bashing both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in their mind, saying we're fucked either way. But of course, this was just a lovely bash against Donald Trump. So obviously, anybody that thinks the term Make America Great Again is where it's like racism here, racism there, racism all over the place, and just the Fourth Reich has come. I would hate to say this, but the majority of people that voted for Donald Trump were not racist assholes, okay? The first group of people that voted for Donald Trump were pretty much the working class, because they saw their entire livelihoods just being stripped the fuck away from them. Their factories were being shut down. They couldn't, go to work to provide for their families. And it makes it extremely difficult for these workers to actually find employment in other places so they could provide for their families. So obviously they looked at Donald Trump as a beacon of hope for them to get their livelihoods back. The other group of people that voted for Trump were people like me. People like myself and a bunch of other people that were sick and fucking tired of political correctness being shoved down our fucking throats, having SJWs completely just swarm all over the place, especially in college academia, like pretty much college campuses and universities, just telling us what to say and what not to say and stuff. And oh, dare me if I speak my mind, I'm a racist or a sexist or a bigot. It is people like those that made us fucking vote for Trump because he was anti-PC. And I will admit this, that a bunch of people, but not a whole lot of people, but a minority, and of course the minority speaks the loudest, were actual racists that voted for Trump for racist reasons. Yeah, I'm not going to deny that, but a good majority of people that voted for Trump were of the working class and people like myself that were sick of political correctness. But tell me when that this was fucking okay. All the streets and screens popping triple Ks. When the fuck has the Ku Klux Klan gained political power again? Like, granted, the Ku Klux Klan has played a very dark role in American history. They were one of the first domestic terrorist organizations in America and one of the most powerful political organizations in America of the last century. I'm not gonna deny that. But is the Ku Klux Klan all over the place again? Like, are they back in political power? Are they doing, like, laws where they're like, oh, kill niggers and stuff, kill niggers, lynch them niggers? No, the Ku Klux Klan is like, has no institutionalized powers at all whatsoever. And you claim to say that, institutionalized racism is absolutely like turning down people of color, and I fucking hate that term. But really, the Ku Klux Klan has no institutionalized power whatsoever. They don't have any power in the institutions. So I find it fucking hard to believe that the Ku Klux Klan is like all over the place in media and stuff. It's God damn it! I'll mark you with a downright down, right up right. They're trying to censor that they're the fucking oppressor, and all you say is that it's wrong when they're swinging at Spencer's. So obviously this part of the song is aimed at Richard Spencer. Of course, anybody that when they think of the alt-right, they think of Richard Spencer and how he was socked in the face at Trump's inauguration, and a lot of people were cheering. Look, I don't agree with Richard Spencer at all whatsoever. But to the people like some black guy and roaming millennial that interviewed Richard Spencer, most notably roaming millennial, like Richard Spencer has been pretty damn civil with roaming millennial. Like, oh, Richard Spencer being civil towards roaming millennial? Yes, he has those views of like wanting an ethno-state and stuff, but has he ever been spiteful and hateful to roaming millennial who happens to be a Eurasian, a white Asian mix? No, he was pretty goddamn civil when I saw the live interview between her and Richard Spencer. And I believe some black guy talked about Richard Spencer on his video on the song Goodnight Alt-Right. And he said, yeah, he's pretty much a fucking pussycat. And all that stuff. Though I do not like Richard Spencer. I prefer Augustus Invictus a hell of a lot more. Brand yourself like a bull. When it sees red, make the lie big. That's what he said. Fuck him and fuck you too. And appreciate that if you preach hate, then expect hate. If you believe that kind of logic, that same kind of logic should apply to the very following people. For instance, Sean King, Francesca Ramsey, Sink Uger, Anjam Chowdhury, Sensei Aneurysm, and Ghazi Kotso. If they preach hate, then they should expect hate. But no, they don't matter because they're people of color and stuff like that. So they're obviously not racist at all whatsoever. You see what I'm getting right there? If you apply that same logic to those people, then they should expect to get hate in return. But no, you don't really think that because they're just minorities. Fighting the evil white supremacy and shit. Lowest of the low, rats out of their holes. We never used to let these dickheads have any control. Speech is free, but it comes with a price. So you never let these dickheads have any control. You pretty much, the entire leftist establishment, pushed so fucking hard with their politically correct dogma, the fucking alt-right became a fucking thing, and you expect a lot of people turning to right-leaning politics is because of assholes like you. And speech is free, but it comes with a price. So obviously, if I say that black on black crime is an epidemic towards African Americans, oh, I get socked in the face. And what about Islam is not a religion of peace? Oh, I get socked in the face. There are only two genders. Oh, get socked in the face. I disagree with feminism. Oh, get socked in the face. It comes with a price. You see what I'm trying to get here? Pretty much you're trying to excuse everything to incite political violence with this song. And I have a fucking big problem with that. What makes you think that this is okay? What makes you think you're the superior race? What makes you think that this is alright? Good night, alt-right. As a white person myself, I do not believe that I am the superior race. Though a lot of white nationalists would think otherwise. But just some white nationalists just want to be left alone. Just want to, just live their lives. Want to, pretty much just have their own people, their own culture and stuff. Granted, some people would disagree on that, but most just want to just live their lives. But apparently people think that they're gonna start like the fucking Fourth Reich. Granted, some of them really are because they're getting poked like a fucking, because it's like poking a bear with a stick at this point. They have like no other fucking choice. But I don't think as a white person that I'm the superior race. Now, it's gonna be a very unpopular opinion I'm gonna bring out, but I know there's a famous, like, this quote that everyone brings out, we're all one race, the human race. That's pretty fucking wrong, because the races are pretty different. Now, I'm not saying that this race is stupid and this race is much more superior. Every race is unique in their own way. Let me explain. Because there's a lot of subspecies of like animals. Like, for instance, there's a lot of subspecies of crows. There's a lot of subspecies of ants. There's a lot of subspecies of dolphins. There's a lot of subspecies of whales. And there's a lot of subspecies of big cats and stuff. You get what I'm trying to say here? So the human race is made up a bunch of different races that are different. No race is superior than the other. We're all unique in our own way. So no, I don't think that I as a white person am superior to a black person. That's just stupid. If you preach hate, then expect hate. Nazi punks, fuck off. So now you've heard it from me and the dead Kennedys. Nazi punks, fuck off. And of course, a lot of people, as I have recently saw last year, a lot of people quoted the dead Kennedys, Nazi punks, fuck off, with their song Nazi punks, fuck off. Most notably when Phil Anselmo did his white power antics at the Dime Bash. I made a video on that with my good buddy Big Nick. But obviously, like, I've looked the lyrics of Nazi punks, fuck off myself, and it turns out it's completely fucking different. So I'm gonna read it right now. If you come to fight, get out of here. You ain't no better than the bouncers. We ain't trying to be police. When you ape the cops, it isn't anarchy. So it's a completely fucking different message that the dead Kennedys were bringing out. You, Straight from the Path, are using their message in a more negative, violent approach. When in fact, like, I mean, I'm not a Dead Kennedys fan myself. I'm not a punk fan, but at least I can understand and read the lyrics of the actual song to get their actual message across. Because yes, Nazi punks were ruining the punk scene, which is pretty funny because, like, punks during those times says, oh, there's ain't no rules or any stuff, but correct me if I'm wrong. But, like, they were messing up the punk scene. They were acting like a bunch of rowdy assholes and just saying, hey, just please get away. You're ruining our vibe. But obviously, with your take on Good Night Alt-Right, it's more like, oh, fuck off, or else we're gonna beat the shit out of you. You see where it's getting at from here? Some black guy said the same thing. What really pisses me off about this song is that it was released on a year where there is a lot of political instability, to the point in where there's no discussion at all whatsoever. To the point in where you have these Antifa thugs listening to this song, getting them rallied up. Keep in mind, these are people that are beyond logic and reasoning. They are there to beat the shit out of people that disagree with them. Even if they're like classical liberals, or even like moderate conservatives, or just anybody that don't label themselves as fascists or white nationalists. They get beaten the fuck out of. Anybody that disagrees with their rhetoric gets beaten the fuck up. And obviously, this song is rallying the fuck out of these guys, just fueling their anger and hatred to actually beat the fuck out of everyone that disagrees with their rhetoric. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be saying this, Atticus the death metaler, you listen to Cannibal Corpse, and a lot of their songs talk about raping women, disemboweling babies, eating the hearts out of your grandma and stuff. Okay, let's just step way the fuck back over here, because obviously I remember using a quote of George Corpse Grinder Fisher on one of my Game of Thrones videos. I'll leave it down in the description below, but pretty much he said that all the lyrics and the music that they make is entirely fiction. If anyone cannot differentiate between the difference of fiction and non-fiction, then they have a serious fucking problem and need serious help. I myself, who is a big fan of Cannibal Corpse, am not going around shoving knives up women's vaginas. I'm not eating vaginal skin. No, not at all. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, you listen to Dying Fetus, so you obviously are influenced to killing your mother and raping your dog. I love my mother. I love my dog. I would never go as far as to murder my mom and completely commit bestiality onto my dog. No, that's fucking disgusting. And obviously that is entirely fiction. Dying Fetus is not promoting their fans to kill their moms or rape their dogs. That's just disgusting. So all that is completely fiction. But Stray from the Path's message onto their song Goodnight Alt-Right is actually fueling these Antifa twat stains, fueling their anger, fueling their rage, and fueling their hatred into toppling down Donald Trump's administration and bringing forth their supposed multicultural leftist utopia where it's fueled by anarcho-communism and shit like that. That is your targeted audience, Stray from the Path. I know a lot of people are actually going to get really rallied up, but how do I feel about the song? I actually like the musical elements behind the song. It's pretty hardcore, it has really good production with the drums. It's a really energetic song, but the song's message is what really turns it down. Because obviously you're promoting Antifa to punch people like myself or anybody else. So yeah, that's the only downside of the song, but the music behind it, it's really good. I actually like it. Now, agree to disagree, but I actually liked the instrumental elements on that song. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this lyrical analysis. It was quite a doozy to actually read the lyrics and you know, bring out my opinions on there. Without further ado, ladies and gents, I am Atticus, the Death Metaler. Hope you liked this video. Subscribe to my channel. Links are in the description below. Keep it metal. Have a wonderful day.